This house about 13 years ago, and I bought it with the purpose of storing because it has a barn. So I didn't do too much to the house. There's some artwork in here stored, but most of it's in the barn. So the house sat empty. It sat empty. I didn't do much. You know, the first year I did some stuff, like had a well dug, stuff like that. But I didn't do anything until just recently. So I've been working on the inside of the house, and I'm working on the outside of the house. This summer I accomplished everything just about, as far as like controlling water coming off my roof, controlling water coming into the house from my roof. So that all got taken care of, so I'm real happy about the way that the summer went. It was exhausting, trying to, work with dogs and get the house done too. The first thing that I noticed when I came in this house, other than it was in like total disrepair, layers of walls. That's how they did it. This house is about 150 years old or something. The kitchen part of my house might even be older. I think that they built the house next to like a stable or something, and that's what the kitchen was, I think. Or maybe the kitchen was just like a real small house with a root cellar, something like that. But the first thing that I noticed about the house is that it had no molding. Like none. They'd even put up paneling or something, and they wouldn't use any type of strip molding, And so this room, I guess, would be the living room. I have a bay window over here. It would be the living room, okay? And I wanted to sort of have the feeling of the kitchen. And the kitchen is sort of like a main room. It's like a relic, That's how I'm having that's the design that I came up with. I want it to be sort of like this old relic that it is. It must be, I don't know how old the kitchen part of the house is. It's over 150 years old. So to do that, and remember this is my house, not yours, I for the living room area, I put up this. These are real cheap. These were 8-foot rough cut pine boards. But I still need to use some more. I'm going to make them look older than this. I'm going to like beat them with a chain and probably stain them with coffee or tea or something. But I'm going to get them weathered looking. But I still need some kind of molding. So I went to Home Depot and I bought this stuff. This stuff is expensive. It's like the less wood you buy, the more expensive it is. Like this is like almost $1 a foot. So I bought, it was like, I took it up there and she said, well, there's no price on this because we measure these at the register. So she measured it and I'm like, that's $10 for that when I can buy this for $4? It's absurd. It's absurd. But I have to have molding, like something like this. It needs something like that, and also around the top, I'm using something other than this, of course. I'm just using, like I'm gonna use like a 4-inch board around the top. Just keep it simple, keep it cheap, just make it look better, Better, as far as like my aesthetic, what I'm looking for. But so this is $1 a foot. These are tomato stakes, and these are tomato stakes I purposely left outside for a few months so that they'll look weathered. So I don't have to age these because I'm like, I can't afford to buy all this if I need molding. These tomato stakes, this was $250, right? So I have at least double this. It's not one single thing. It's not like one long strip. That's true, but I can put them together, and it'll fit in stuff like this just fine. The point of it is that as far as like price goes, I don't want to. Come on, man. I don't need this finely sanded piece of molding. I don't need this. And I'm going for a rough look in this room anyway because I want this sort of bouncing off the kitchen. Now there's a room in between the kitchen that is not as rough as the kitchen. So it's sort of like, that room, the room with the wood burning stove has a more finished feel to it. But let me show you the kitchen. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like this stuff for molding in the kitchen, these tomato steaks, this will work out great and it'll be cheap. Now this is my kitchen, believe it or not. This is gonna be the kitchen. So that tin, that's all stuff that I collected in Brooklyn. Whenever I saw it, I collected it for about 20 years. So I have a lot of it, and I'm incorporating that into the kitchen. Now the ceiling, it's a vaulted ceiling. It's a vaulted ceiling, and I'm going to leave it open. I don't think I need insulation up there now because I put a metal roof on top of it, so there will be airspace, right? There'll be airspace. I'm telling you, this house is so much warmer than it was even last year. Just in the last week, I used another few cans of foam. You know, I go up around using my hand, trying to feel for any type of draft. I'd also, like, it's an old house. There's cobwebs up there. If I saw cobwebs moving, I'm like, oh yeah, there's probably a draft up there. Get up there with a can of foam. But if you look at this, like, see how this is all rough looking? It's gonna look awesome. I don't know if you can tell, but I can tell. I can always tell when I'm working on something, even before, you know, it's done, that it's gonna look great. So this tin ceiling, it all is sort of matching the walls. Like if you look at the walls. Like, I don't know if this makes any sense, but this is reminiscent of a beautiful painting. It is. Like, this to me looks beautiful. Of course, it's going to be more finished out in this kitchen area. I want to do cooking videos in here. That's my plan, is I'm going to do cooking videos in here. But those tomato steaks, or like even a section like here, like put one of the tomato steaks going up here is molding. Now keep in mind, this has to be finished out. This is not finished out. This has foam sprayed behind it because I don't want any draft. I don't want to be cold, right? But this, after I get the foam off, you know, this foam will come off, and then I'm going to deal with the foam, like make it so that it blends in more, like use maybe, I don't know, maybe some kind of product like liquid nails for roof. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that has a black kind of like dead flat appearance. Like I could just put it in there as like a caulk, something like that. Or maybe I'll just paint it, to tell you the truth. Maybe I'll just paint it. But if you look at the surface, I'm thinking of the surface of this room. Totally, that's what this is about. This kitchen is going to be about old relic, you know, like an old battered relic. And the bottom line is that I am not paying extra money for some kind of, you know, strip molding that's real slick, because I don't need real slick, because nothing in this room and that room in the front is about being slick. I want it to have like a kind of soft, rusty feel, you know? Shabby chic. Nothing in this room is going to be super tight. It's all going to be loose. I'm thinking of the walls as like a painting. Speaking of that, so did the people that lived here before. Look at this. Here's a door, a wood door. It could be beautiful, right? But instead they painted it. Now, it's bad white, right? I'll do something to it. But one of the things that was amazing was they put these decals. This is fucking ugly. Are you kidding me? It fucking was, these were everywhere. Like, this room, the layer that you could see was paneling. Not only was it white wood paneling, you know, like that masonite shit, but it was painted. And then they used like this fucking shit like as a border at the top. I'm telling you, every time I walked in this room, I'm looking at, because it had a suspended ceiling. I ripped down that like the first 2 days I was here. Like, you could touch the ceiling with your hand. I'm like, fuck this. What is that doing here? And ever since that, I ripped it down. And I'm looking. I'm like, oh, look at this. Look at this. The roof. The roof is open. I'm like, this room has so much potential. It does. It has so much potential. You, the person who's viewing this and lives in the super slick house, you're probably thinking, he's out of his fucking mind. That could never look good. Oh, yes, it can. Yes, it can. And with art, it's about layering. And that's all I need to do. So I'm bringing old in the new tin. I'm bringing old back in. And I'm using the old that's already here, making it look older. And shit like this. This has to go. This will be gone by this afternoon. I've looked at this for fucking 13, 14 years. I've owned this place. Every time I walked in here, I'm like, that's the ugliest shit I've ever seen. What am I going to do to the wood door? I don't know. Maybe I'll take it down and strip it down to bare wood. That's probably what I'll do. Maybe I'll take it outside and use a torch on it. It looks like it has a gray paint underneath it, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I ought to test this before I start screwing around with it. It's an old door. I wish the white paint would come off because it has gray that looks real nice that I would clear coat. Here, I'll show you. It has this old paint. Now this could be just like old milk paint underneath this, but it also could be a lead-based paint too. So gotta check that. Man, it might just totally peel off. If it, yeah, it does. It does. It peels right off. Well, peels off from part of it. Now, the problem being that if this is a modern paint, this does not have lead in it. I checked this house when I moved in. There wasn't anything. I haven't worked on anything that had lead, and that's the issue. Like, you don't want to sand lead; it puts it into the air. You don't want to, I think, like, if you do come across lead, the best thing, if you don't have kids or an animal that's going to chew on it, just cover it up. Just paint it. I didn't have any in this house. It's weird. That's how poor these people were. That most of everything that was done, all the shitty stuff, was like late 60s, early 70s, 80s, 90s. When this house was first built, they didn't put much money into it, so lead paint is not an issue in this house. I'll tell you another thing that's not an issue in this house is I don't have knob and tube electrical. Thank fucking God. My electrical is shit, and it is the next thing on my list. So I was up here the other day. I was checking out the electrical because I'm in an area right now which would be above the bathroom and above this like pantry. And I had to come up here to see exactly what was going on with the electrical shit. Seriously, thank God I don't have knob and tube. I have like flexible conduit, early flexible conduit that needs to be bumped up to a thicker gauge. So, and it's sort of, I'm looking at it right now, bumming out. It's like just a mashed up thing done at different times. I have a few wires that would be cloth wrapped, a few. So, I had to come up here. So I found something when I was up here, speaking of molding. This has a spooky look, doesn't it? It's pretty awesome. This is the kitchen. This is the room we were just looking at. right? So this is covered in tin. This is the peak of the roof. I like this like loft area. I would like to do something with it at some point. It's sort of like just a wasted space. You know, could be used as storage. Look at what I found here. It's a dead rat. Totally decomposed. Look at its stomach contents. You know what that is? That green? That is rat poison. It just kept coming back for more. Look at that. That is crazy looking. You know? I'll have to come up here and get this. It doesn't smell. It looks like it's been dead for 30 years, so maybe longer. Who knows? I don't know. I kind of like it though. It's real nice up here. It's not cold. It's not drafty. I noticed right away I don't really have to seal it up. It's real tight. But I found this strip molding. I think it's strip molding. There's a lot of wood in this house that I can utilize. I mean, look at that. That is sweet. Look at that. Those pieces of wood right there. I don't really know what they were. They look like it's molding of some kind. At all. Which I like. This wood, it looks like some kind of cloth on it. It almost looks like a old stretcher for a canvas. I'm not really sure what it was. It does have some kind of... Maybe it was an old canvas. Oh, who would have owned this house? It was an artist other than me. Come on, what are the chances? Boy, it does look like it was a stretcher, though. Huh. Yeah, I don't really know what these were used for, but they are super sweet, and this would be stuff that I would not use for construction. It would be used for a look. God damn it, man. What's this? Looks like a branding iron. Seriously. Is that what this is? I don't know. Look at all the dust up here. It's all fiberglass too. I should get out of here. I activated it. This spring I had some mice. No rats, but you never know. I had some mice and I used traps and they're all gone now. But I have some out, and I have some out underneath the floorboards too. I could hear, you know, some kind of creature running on tin ceiling, you know? And I'll tell you something. When a little mouse is running on tin ceiling, it sounds like it's much bigger. A little mouse running on tin ceiling sounds like it's much bigger. I thought it was a squirrel. They weren't. They were mice. So I put these rat traps here and mouse traps up here because nobody comes up here and I might get one. That rat trap was placed here by me because I don't come up here much. And just in case, I got a mouse trap over there too. But you know, I don't want no rat in here. Never see selling this house. Not now. Come on, man. I've kept it this long. I have pawpaw trees in the backyard that are 11 or 12 years old. There's no way I would ever sell this house. I'm about to have pawpaws. There would be no reason. Like what? To get something, like let's say I made millions of dollars on YouTube. Would I ever sell this house? No, I would always keep this house. It's not worth anything anyway. It's not. You know, it's not, even if it was fixed up, which it's getting fixed up, it's still not going to be worth anything. It's a very sort of depressed area. You know, it's a rural area. You know, there's not a lot of rich people around here.
By the dawn's early light,
Here's something that I'm doing in my kitchen too. I'm taking this out, which this is a concrete countertop I poured. I'm not even sure why I did it. It was more or less like I was entertaining myself. I had a couple bags of concrete. So this has to come out. This is not going to be easy to get out either because I made it right. There's, I think, maybe rebar in here, and I know that there's some metal mesh, but this all has to come out. It's just hideous looking. It's over this, which is just, you know, whatever. It's wasted space. It's just, you know, it's just junk. So this is demolition. My kitchen is going to be so freaking awesome. More of this paper needs to come off, and I'm going to do that. But, you know, I'm going to leave some of it coming through. Of course, this stuff has to be dealt with. But if you look at the, like, gradation of colors, it's absolutely beautiful. It really is. I mean, if you like old, this is another area where strip molding could be used. The tomato steaks. It's like, you know, right between that tin and that tin, possibly. I'm in Home Depot. I'm getting weather stripping for my house for the doors, which are, I did last year pretty good, but I want them like, I don't want any cold air coming in, no leaking, and that's pretty much how I have it right now. It just makes sense, you know, like there's no draft, the heat's not gonna go on as much. It's more comfortable. I'm not kicking a tree. So I got all kinds of weather stripping for even like the door that goes in my backyard. Last year was a problem because snow had built up, so you couldn't even open the door. This year I dug a trench so that water, it all goes down to the road, so it won't puddle up by my door. I'm gonna put this weather stripping on it so that pushes the snow away too. And I don't want any wind blowing in. I have that door, and then I got a secondary door that really stops it. That's the goal, is to be comfortable, you know? Here's something. This is a nice brand, Rigid, but it's a 5-gallon, and they want $80 for this shop vac? Are you fucking kidding me? No, get the plastic one. It doesn't matter. It has to do with the size of the amperage of the vacuum cleaner itself. It doesn't have anything to do with the container looking cool. It's just, these small ones are fucking terrible. And also it comes with a real small nozzle, a hose and nozzle, so shit gets stuck in it. Get the big one, get a shop vac. It's cheaper, it's bigger, stuff doesn't get stuck in it. Let's see what this is. How many amps is this? Okay, so this says that it's 3 horsepower at peak. I'm telling you, this motor isn't very big. This is just about having a metal canister in it looking cool. $80? Are you fucking kidding me? For a vacuum cleaner? No. The shop vacs need to be big so that you can suck up anything. This will not. This is high-priced garbage is what it is. I guarantee you, don't buy it.
What's so proud we did it? Lights gleaming and bright stars and stripes.
Check this out at Home Depot. Free water test. You're damn right. I have well water. I know that it's high in iron. I know that I don't want to drink it. I know that. Just find out how much arsenic is in it. I don't drink that shit. I'll bathe in it, you know, but I'm not drinking it anyway. I think when I was in college, what we did was we put plastic over the windows to, you know, create a, you know, insulation, you know, a barrier. That doesn't work so good. It doesn't work as good as just getting foam or caulking and making, you know, seal those windows up. That's the way to do it. Using that plastic, I'll tell you what that plastic's good for, is that it would kind of bow out like a balloon, like when there was a lot of wind. and blow out, and we use that as a backstop for a Red Ryder BB gun. And it always, it would just, you know, the BB would hit it and push it in, but bounce it back out. Worked pretty good. Until it didn't work anymore. There wasn't enough wind on the other side, and I broke the window. Shooting a BB gun in the house, you know? Getting my hair cut, I'm sick of it. I am, I'm totally sick of it. The girl that did it last time, she was quick. It's off my head now. It's totally better. I feel like a new man. You know what I'm saying? So I've been using Claritin for my allergies. I have indoor allergies. Gee, I wonder why that is. So I'm using Claritin. It works great. Works great. You know, it doesn't wig me out or anything. But I also am using Flonase, and Flonase is expensive. Now, Ginion uses Nasacort, and I think it's the same thing. It looks like it's like some kind of steroidal thing. Here's Zizol. Here's Equate. Equate is the same thing. Their brand is the same thing as Flonase. I think that's what I'm going to do. I do like the Flonase spray thing. It's not obnoxious, you know. Okay, so I have a feeling that this is the same thing as Flonase. Isn't even looking at the right thing. This is what I need. Is the Flonase Sentimist. This is it, and it doesn't look like they have this. Pricey, but I get two for about 20 bucks a piece. Getting this. Well, it was cutting my hair, had the sniffles. I certainly hope that I don't get sick, but one thing's for sure, I won't get the flu. Probably not get the flu because I got the flu shot. I know if Ginion would have been sitting in the chair getting her hair cut and the girl was doing that, she would have been flipped out. I'm not too worried. I'm not going to get sick. I haven't had any of these in a couple weeks, so I'm having some. Not these. These are no good, but the Parmesan, real good. Speaking of cheese at Walmart, this aged Gouda, it's fucking awesome. It's the best cheese Walmart sells. It's real good. I get these because it'll remind me of being in Brooklyn. A bagel chip, a bagel. What's the difference? It's the same thing. More common things people say is, I can't afford the raw diet, right? Why not? This whole 10-pound bag of chicken costs about $6, okay? Also, if you're gonna say, well, I don't want to give my dogs chicken that has all those antibiotics and everything, look at the bag. No antibiotics are used ever, okay? Stop making excuses. Dish soap, here is dish soap for $2. I'm getting this instead. What's weird about my YouTube channel is that the dudes that want to give me grooming suggestions, like, dude, cut your hair and stuff like that. I'm not gay, I'm not interested, I don't want to be your little dandy, you know? Why are you worried about how I look? You know? It's absurd. It's absurd. Telling anybody that they should cut their hair or anything like that is just, nobody that watches me on YouTube is watching me because of the way that I look. No one that wants me to work with their dog gives a shit how I look. They want me to influence their dog. That's what it's about. It is. It has nothing to do with me saying anything either. I want peanuts. Don't really see them. Oh, there's a bag of peanuts. I want raw. Oh, I know who would have them. I'm right by Tractor Supply. Check this out. They sell spoons. 88 cents for 4, it looks like. I only want one though. I guess I'll buy all 4 in case I lose one, which is a pretty good chance that I'll lose it, and I'll probably lose the other 3. because I don't know, where am I going to put them? See what I'm saying? When you posted that thing that you were going to say this, I knew it. I knew it. Why else would you be posting that? Look at Remy. I was going to get her mashed potatoes and I didn't. She loves them. I was in the line, I was already checking out, and I'm like, sorry, Remy. I love the bird. She's great. She's like my best friend. She's awesome. I love this bird so much. Remy's so awesome. Until you live with the bird, you never understand. You know, people just see them flying around. Look, they don't look anything like us. They walk on 2 feet like us. They're warm-blooded. You know. Remy really likes me a lot. She thinks that I'm her mate. She's confused. That's okay. Fuck it. Right? That's right. I don't care. You know, what am I gonna do? I have tried to hook her up with male pigeons before. It just doesn't work. She likes to hang out with me. Besides, she already had a baby, didn't you? She had Solarton. Solar isn't biologically hers, clearly not mine, but Remy hatched Solarton, raised him from a pup. I helped. It's my kid too. Isn't that right, Remy? See? She's so sweet. I wake up in the morning and there she is. Sometimes she try and wake me up early, which is a bummer. You know, like she's a bird. She gets up early. You know, she'll start like grooming my hair, which she doesn't like the fact that I cut my hair. She likes it long, don't you? See? She likes it long. I just at a point, I just want to stop dealing with it, you know? And when it's long like that, especially doing work around the house, man, I got polyurethane in it yesterday. It's a polyurethane, and I had foam in it last week, and I had, you know, trying to rip that stuff out. It is weird, the people that worry about like how my hair is, which my hair is fucking awesome, and a lot of people do know this, but to make comments about my hair, it's just like, you're jealous. Come on, hi Remy. You're jealous, because my hair is freaking awesome. And the woman that was cutting my hair even said that. She said, you certainly do have a lot of hair, and it's awesome. That's what she said. So there you go. That's a professional pointing out that I have a lot, and it is awesome. So there you go. I was thinking about the birdhouse that I'm making, and I'm going to make this birdhouse primarily for the brown sparrows that live, you know, under like the soffit. There's a lot of them that live under there. They use like the soffit. There's like this plastic siding that's come down, so they use that for protection in the winter, and they nest in there. I don't want them in there, but I don't want to screw them either, and it's winter, so they can stay there this winter. But as soon as spring rolls around, I'm gonna have a big long sort of box with holes in it, and each one kind of separated. I'm gonna put it up against my house because I want the protection of the house, and I want them to be as warm as possible. And the thing that I was thinking is that if I put it up like any more than 10 feet, a bat could go in there. However, if birds are using it, I don't think the bat will go in there. And I'm not saying I'd ever hurt a bat, no way. But one thing's for sure is if the bats came in the spring, which that's when they show up, they come out of the mines and whatever, and then they want to go have their babies in people's attics and shit. If they start using the birdhouse as like a bat house, well, they wouldn't. I wouldn't hurt them, but they wouldn't. I'll take it down. I'll take it off the house. You know, sorry. You know, I'll put it at 5 feet. I think for the most part, the bats are going to look for the highest point on your house. That's what they like. So you're looking at definitely above 10 feet. Anything below 10 feet, I don't think a bat would use it. 14 feet, that is definitely bat range. You betcha. You put something up there around 14 feet that has like a little tiny hole in it, a box, you're gonna have bats in there. Bats suck. Remy knows. See? See how she gives me this affirmation when I ask her questions? She understands what I'm saying, don't you, Remy? Yeah, see? Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but it's true. You know, everybody is subject to love, and love can be one of the most painful experiences of your entire life. Some dudes I've known, and you know, they seem like sort of like the Fonz, like they're too cool to fall in love. All of them can get whipped, and you know, it's like everyone. I remember this dude in college, like Eric. You know, always, you know, you never really saw him like that. Like you could tell, oh look, he's in love, he's whipped. And then one day I was at a party, and there he was on a couch with this broad, and everybody else was saying the same thing. Like, God, you see, you know, Eric, he's fucking, you know, he's whipped. Everybody's subject to it.